Well, that was an awkward timing. As I was saying, the various stairs and slabs are probably going to have a bit of a delayed use before I end up getting around to actually deploying them in some sort of fashion where I make use of the resources. I'm probably going to have them for a while, but once I get them all sorted out, I will be able to easily and quickly go through, decorate any area that I'm trying to decorate, and then just move on to the next project. Makes it a lot easier. And in the meantime, since, the video crashed on me, I went ahead, popped up to the base here, retrieved my pumpkins from the pumpkin farm, double checked that the minecart was in fact still active and running. Because it is, of course. I crafted up my slimes into slime blocks as we went over a full stack of regular slime. As you can see, the minecart's still in there. The kelp is, of course, being kelp, so it's doing what it does. There we go. Wanted to make sure that the kelp did not end up getting caught on that little tiny ledge. I also need to make sure that the kelp is not getting stuck in waiting for this top hopper to clear out. Yeah, see, this hopper was pretty full before it decided to go ahead and roll on into the next one. There it goes. Starting to empty out now. Yeah, I'd harvested this a few times in a row, so I knew it was going to fill up to some degree. It was just a matter of how much. Yeah, that slime chunk down there in the spawn sector is going to prove very useful, by the way. So let's see, I want dried kelp there, and then I want to open the hopper. Dried kelp, dried kelp, dried kelp, and dried kelp. And then, just for extra points, I'm going to actually want to take some of this dried kelp down to the furnace down below, where I have the other system set up. Meanwhile, I also want to come over here, harvest my farm. Since I am going to be needing sugarcane now, I need to make sure that my sugarcane is actively growing. I do not have the access to it. That is really loud. Yeah, I know. Okay, that's bull. I was guarding. What do you mean there are monsters nearby? I'm in my base. there like zombies in my base or something? No? Doesn't look like it. Oh, there's an Enderman over there. Figures. You know, I kind of don't want to rest because then it gives the Enderman a reason to escape. Aha! Suck it, Enderman! Yeah! Come on! I know you're angry! This is actually a terrible idea because the phantoms could easily get me here. But yeah, as you can see, the Enderman was quite obviously stuck inside my little alcove here. They don't really have anywhere else they can go. They can't make their way into my bedroom. So, unless they're in one of these narrow little passageways, they're just kind of trapped, you know? Did he teleport in with my horse? No, he's not in there with my horse. Huh. The Enderman seems to have vanished. Which I know sounds normal for an Enderman, but in this instance, I really have no clue. I don't seem to have a functioning X-ray, so I can't really figure out where they ran off to. I can hear the specters dying. They are very, very audible. Oh, right, my experience. Ugh. I lost half my levels when I died. What level am I down to now? 4. That means I was roughly level 8. Maybe higher. Or lower. I don't know. Put the armor on. Put the shield on. Pick up all of my enchanted tools. So yeah, one of the achievements in Minecraft, by the way, is to survive for 3 days eating nothing but dried kelp. That is actually a very easy task to do. Part of the trick of surviving like that is simply to not do work that requires you to eat a lot. You don't want to do work that makes you hungry. Instead, you want to perform work which does not require a lot of food to sustain you. For example, if I wanted to go... Hold on. Let me organize my inventory first. Let's see. So I want that there, that there. Logs, planks, sticks, arrows, torches, spare pickaxe, shovel, axe. Oh no, that's my actual pickaxe. Sugarcane, food, cobble, dirt. Minecart, shovel. Okay, I'm good now. Oh, more cactus. Cool. So yeah, I want to make sure that I have my sugarcane constantly growing, because if I don't, that means that I'm falling behind on how much sugarcane I have compared to how much sugarcane I need. I need a lot of sugarcane. So I want to, of course, do very well on how much sugarcane I have. If my quantities of sugarcane run low, then I'm obviously going to want to get those numbers up, you know? And the reason why I want sugarcane is multifaceted. I want fireworks for when I get an elytra, which is going to be after I fight the Ender Dragon. Planning in advance for that one. I want paper for when I get a map, because I want to create a local map of the area. And on top of that, I also want to additionally create some form of handheld map so that I don't get lost. So I'm able to sit there and go, okay, I'm in this section of my base now. You know, the majority of the changes that I make to the landscape will be underground, or at least the majority of the changes that I will have made will have been underground. So they probably won't be immediately noticeable, but as I explore more, I will end up revealing more of the above ground area, which will allow me to better exploit the above ground area in a way which benefits the automation of everything. This happens so much faster when I'm not recording, by the way. Like, it just zooms through crafting when I'm not recording. So the recording is definitely slowing down my phone. You know, my device is able to do a lot, but it's not able to do everything type of situation. It's kind of sad. And if it's sad enough to get you to send me money, then I have a Patreon page. Patreon.com/BlueNexusGaming. I plan to upload a bunch of content to my Patreon page very soon, because I am supposed to be performing early uploads on Patreon. However, I can't even perform early uploads on YouTube. So getting early uploads on Patreon would just end up requiring I delay my YouTube videos even further, which is not favorable because they're already delayed enough. I'm hardly recording them the day before. I was supposed to actually get ahead of the curve on Friday, or before Friday, because I had a D&D game that I was preparing for. I ended up actually sleeping through it, but my players didn't seem to mind, as they were all busy that day too. They had similar interests, you could say. We all just kind of slept through the session. So we missed all our alarms. We were sitting there going, well, we're here now, but by now it's like, 11 at night. So we skipped the session. We were just like, okay, well, whatever. We talked about other things, talked about campaign stuff. I still don't think they suspect that I'm mentioning like campaign spoilers on my YouTube channel, much less that they have the ability to listen in on advice that is, like fresh, fresh news. Not normally something you'd expect on a YouTube channel when you're trying to snoop around about information for your D&D session. You don't expect to actually find fresh news about your D&D session on your GM's YouTube channel, especially when the channel is about playing Minecraft. That being said, if they have been watching, they should mention to me that they should get a level up because I died to silverfish. So if you're watching, my dear players, in my campaign, mention in PM. Don't mention it in the public channel on the Discord. Mention it in a private message to give you a free level up because I died to silverfish a few episodes ago. And if you want to prove that you're listening, you're going to have to look up which episode it is. So don't think it's just so easy that you can tune in for one episode and be like, oh, sweet, I got just the right episode. No, you're going to have to look up which episode it was and tell me which episode did I die to silverfish. That's your quiz. If you manage to successfully list, if you're a player in my campaign and you manage to successfully list, sorry, got distracted, and you manage to successfully list which episode I died to silverfish in, because I'm currently in this apocalypse phase, I will allow you to keep one magic item of your choice. Or we'll say get one magic item of your choice, because some of the players, if they do manage to pull this off, are going to end up with, for example, a belt of Storm Giant Strength. I do not want that belt of Storm Giant Strength on the table, because that thing is throwing off the combat encounters so hard. Like, I'm sitting there going, okay, and you take a bunch of damage, and then I'm like, okay, what do you people want to do? It's looking very bleak. You're looking, that guy almost got knocked out in one shot. That guy is looking very heavily damaged. He's used all of his abilities. What do you want to do? And he just goes, I want to use my great sword. And I'm going to swing twice, and I'm going to see about trying to chop his head off. And it's like, okay, roll to hit. Yeah, that's like 27. Yeah, that hits. And that's like 53 damage. Plus it was a crit, so I'm going to go ahead and smite. It's like, oh, son of a... Well, I guess I don't need to roll his death saves. Paladin, huh? Which oath are you again? Oath of Ancients, you say. Which he is. He's an Oath of Ancients paladin. With a belt of Storm Giant Strength, a great sword. He's actually got quite a nice loadout of equipment. So the paladin in my campaign is definitely going to be feeling it when we go through our little reset. Really? But yeah, the paladin's definitely going to be feeling it, because he's got a belt of storm giant strength, and those things, whew, those do not get forgotten easily. Those things are definitely good. You know, I don't know if you've used a belt of storm giant strength before, but simply put, it sets your strength at 29, which gives you a +9 modifier on your strength-based rolls. Which, if you're not familiar with what that means, that basically means anything that gets put in front of you gets wrecked. It's toast. It's gone. Get wrecked, bro. Yeah. So I'm going to have my character rest here. And then I think I'm going to have my character do some fishing. Now, because I'll be fishing, I will, of course, have plenty of time to actually pay attention to what I'm saying. I will want to have my back to my base, because I want to make sure that I have enough of a warning to run away if it comes down to it. I'm actually going to install in this mode some pumpkins, some lanterns, specifically in this section. Is there air here? No. Sitting here thinking about how I want to place these things, and I'm slowly suffocating. Go figure. Okay, so I want to put it there, there. Pick up these two. Put it there, there. Now, pick up any of the items in the water. Put the sand on the hot bar there. Place the sand. Yeah, my my campaign is going decently well. Oops. All things considered. I mean, it could be worse. Always be worse. You know, you might think you're having a bad day, but remember, somewhere out there, an elephant had diarrhea, and someone didn't get their gloves on in time as they stood behind the elephant. Yep. You might think you had a bad day, but at least you're not covered in elephant poop. Okay? So, just be grateful for what you do got, and don't worry so much about what you don't got. Because what you don't got sometimes involves not being covered in elephant poop. Which is a blessing all on its own, really. Okay. Right. Seems I have run out of pumpkins. That's fine. I still need to go fishing. I still need to do a lot of things. Yeah. So, I could talk about the skill system of Final Fantasy XI. The skill system of Final Fantasy XI is very straightforward. The more you perform the action, the better your skill gets, as long as, of course, you are performing the action successfully. So, if you want to get better at parrying, for example, if you want to get better at parrying, then you need to make sure that you parry very frequently. If you want to get better at blocking, you need to block very frequently. This gets very important when you're trying to level up multiple classes, because, for example, your fighter class will make use of your parry and your blocking, but your monk class will never block, because monks don't wear shields. Neither do black mages, for example. So you have to really calculate in how all of this is going to fit together in order to provide a cohesive understanding of how everything is... Oops, too early. How everything is going to level up. You want to level up things in groups, but you also want to make sure that those levels are accumulating in a way that does not interfere with how effective you're going to be later. The difference being, if you're, for example, a fighter, if you're a tank, and you're level 10, you get to your first party, but you've never leveled up your blocking or your parrying. You've just, well, you might have leveled up your parrying, but let's say you never used a shield, right? You never leveled up your blocking. As the tank, you're going to want to have a shield, and that shield is going to need to get used, because if it's not used, then you're just taking the damage with your face, you know? So that's going to be a problem. So what you need to do is you need to level up your shield. But in order to do that, you need to use your shield. So you have to go somewhere that the monsters are able to hit you, because there's also evasion. And if your evasion is too high, then good luck. Because then you're trying to block while you're mostly evading. And that's just going to be difficult. However, in the rare instances that you do block a higher level enemy's attack, a stronger enemy's attack, it will level up your skill that much more. So you will end up with sometimes 1, 2, maybe even 3 levels in a skill that you just gain suddenly because you finally used that skill and you ended up blocking so much damage that it just leapt up a level or 3. I once had a skill go up 5 levels, and I think it was blocking, simply because I blocked an attack that was going to critical hit me if it had hit, but instead I managed to block it, and then I parried the next attack, and then my skills came off cooldown, and I was able to dodge the remaining attacks. And that actually saved me. It saved me quite a lot of health, because they were hitting, I think they were hitting something like 80 damage to 100 damage on me per hit, and they were doing multiple hits per round of attacks that we exchanged. So it was a lot of damage, and Cure Wounds only heals like 25 to 30. I think the maximum a simple Cure level 1 was able to heal was 50 health, and that was from someone who had it literally maxed, was level 75 white mage with a subclass of red mage, I think it was. Or they might have been subclass blue mage, but they managed to get it up to 50, and that was like the best that I'd ever seen Cure Wounds capable of doing. I'm going to look around for that Enderman stuff in just a moment here. Oh, Enderman, I hear you're dying around here. Perhaps I could interest you in an exchange. I get to keep your items, and you get to die painfully and slowly in this rain. I mean, you're going to do that anyways, but I want your items. They seem to have wandered off. Shame. He was doing so well. Pity, really. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the poisonous effects of the rain to an Enderman are hardly noticeable because it's just 1 damage repeatedly, just 1, 1, 1, 1, which means it's half a heart each time. That being said, you can see my efforts at spawn proofing were rather thorough, especially over there. You know, that is very difficult to do, by the way. Especially without any form of texture pack to inform me of how effective my lighting was. It's very difficult to get it where you're just lighting up the entirety of a cliffside like that without missing anything. As you can see, I tried the same over there to minimal effect. And then over here, I missed 1 spot there, but I have extra over there, so it's fine.